What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I am back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action. Spawning in the left-hand side of the map, in the red color, playing as Poseidon. He's from the UCA clan, which I wish I could tell you what it is, but I do not know. His name is Matreiuss. His opponent today, in the blue color, from the DoD clan, the deities of death. His name is Brickhead. He's playing Thor. The map is Mediterranean. This is the RTS-Sanctuary Christmas Tournament 3rd, 4th place match to see who comes 3rd or 4th place. Self-evident, but I felt like I should say it. I believe Brickhead is currently up 1-0, and Matreiuss is going to be playing catch-up now. Poseidon's such a good god on this map. Same with Thor. Both very strong. I give the edge to Poseidon because he has access to Ares. Ares is great. He can use Ares to block any ship production for 45 seconds or a minute, however long it is, and get very aggressive. And also, you can kind of force your opponent to do something else. So if they go for that fast classical age and then Ares comes down, they might actually decide to just jump straight into that second town center. Or you can do the same thing. There's so many different options. Mediterranean is a difficult, or basically any water map's difficult because there's several different ways you can play, so you have to scout your opponent out and work out what they're trying to do based on their villager distribution. So, Matreiuss has got that first dock up, got his fishing ships coming up. He's got only 3 villagers on wood at the moment. Normally you want to put 4 villagers on wood if you go for the 410, but maybe he's planning something else. There we go, that 4th villager's going there. You can add more than 4 villagers and go 5 villagers or 6 villagers, depending on how boomer you want to go. Brickhead on the other side of the map. Only 3 villagers on wood. Normally we see more than that from Brickhead. He normally goes very boomy on the water, but I feel like he's got a little bit of an insight into how Matreiuss plays this matchup, and he realizes maybe he has to go a little bit faster. So looks like, he could still put more dwarves and villagers over to wood at this point. Just starting with 3 means you have constant fishing ship production, essentially, until you put more villagers over there. And these 2 dwarf gatherers on the pigs mean you can start getting gatherers earlier, and you're not wasting all of the build time on dwarves. Dwarves are great, however, they take 16 seconds versus a gatherer, which I think takes 14 or 15 seconds. 14 seconds. So 2 seconds. You get. For like every couple of dwarves, you're producing 1 less villager. So that's one of the downsides for dwarves, but dwarves do gather very fast from gold, and if you only produce so many of them, say 5 or 6 in the classical age, you're only going to have 2 or 1 dwarf on your wood when you're in the classical age. The rest will be on gold, and you'll be totally fine. If we jump back over to Matreiuss' perspective, he's chucking some villagers over to that boar. Gets a nice boar lure there. Lure's great on this map. Means you can get a lot of income. We see 7 villagers on wood. So he went 4. He's gone very boomy here. Very boomy indeed. Potentially going to see Hermes coming out from him, and even going into a fast second town center. Or he can go 3 docks straight away. So he's generally 7 villagers on wood means you're going to be aiming for 5:15 or 5 minutes. 5 minutes or 5:15 into the game. It's pretty boomy, and it's very defensive orientated, so we're probably not going to see Ares at all from Matreiuss here. Brickhead, on the other hand, chucking his temple up already, stopping villagers on wood at 5. I don't know exactly what time you're going to be going, but probably 4:30 is your classical age timing with that many villagers on wood. And he's still producing fishing ships, so he's going to have quite a few, potentially 9 to 10 to 12 or something like that. 9 to 12 fishing ships is probably about right. We do see that Matreiuss has scouted out Brickhead's temple, and he's going to be doing a little bit of harass onto that Ulfsark. Ulfsark should probably jump back over to that temple and just Alt-S underneath the town center fire. That's the point of the scaling. So that's, well, this is brutal, but it's actually not going to, maybe it will slow down the, no, it's not going to matter at all. The reason that the Voobly balance patch team changed the Skraeling, they changed the Ulfsark into a Skraeling, is so that you can Alt-S it. And they didn't want you to Alt-S Ulfsark just in general because it caused some bugs. I'm not 100% sure what the bugs were, so maybe someone can say that in the comments if they know. But we are seeing Freya come through for Brickhead, and he's hit a bit of a house pop block there, so maybe that that temple harassment did a little bit of damage there from Matreiuss. I love that. And we are seeing Hermes coming through. So actually really fast Hermes. I actually thought he wouldn't be able to get to the next age until later, but going 4 minutes 30 seconds there. And also having 11 fishing ships. So this is really good build order. Generally, when you see so many villagers on wood, it's pretty bad. But we are seeing 7 villagers on gold and 7 villagers ish on wood, or 8 villagers, 10 villagers on wood. There, we're going to see hand axe and pickaxe getting grabbed at some point in the future. Brickhead, on the other hand, probably only going to be able to afford hand axe. If we check out here. Nope, neither is an option. We are seeing the dot going up for Brickhead. Brickhead only going for 9 villagers on 9 fishing ships. I thought he could afford more than that, but unfortunately did not manage to get those ones out. I feel like his house probably could have came down earlier. He could have afforded that, and he would have been able to afford more fishing ships potentially. Anyways, we are seeing a Herser come out and also hand axe there. So the Herser is going to be able to build some houses and help out, or a third dock. There we go. Third dock is going to go down. Next house is going to come down for Brickhead as well, and he's going to start building those longboats straight away. Matreiuss, on the other hand, does not look like... Well, he has split up his wood villages really nicely to combat Freya. He does need to get out a Theseus straight away. The Centaur is great, but it's not enough to defend against the Valkyrie raids. That will be impending, and we do see that Matreiuss is scouting the wood line of Brickhead. So he knows that Brickhead's basically going for heavy water pressure here. So we are probably going to be seeing some of those longboats coming out. So longboats are coming out here. Matreiuss is also producing triremes, and he's keeping them back. Doesn't want to be moving them into his opponent. If you move your longboats into your opponent, generally they can get the first attack, and we're going to see that coming right here. Oh no! If you move them, they don't get the first attack. So Brickhead's actually going to be targeting first. A little bit of micro here, but nothing too much. These guys aren't going to fight with 2 boats. Generally speaking, you try and wait for you to have 4 or 5 so that the micro actually makes a difference. And we'll see what happens there. 3 docks to 2 docks though, so Brickhead's going to actually be able to outproduce Matreiuss when he comes up with that. We do see that the Valkyrie has found the villagers there, and he's going to be pulling them off the wood line, not losing any of them luckily. The Centaur's going to take some damage though. Ooh, that's some very, very poor micro on both parts of his units there, focusing a little bit too much on the triremes. Losing his Centaur is a little bit of a blow. He could have used that to go and harass right now, but we are seeing some nice micro here from Matreiuss. He's managing to get a lot of archer trireme fire, archer ship fire onto his opponent there, and that's one of the big things. Sometimes people get a little bit caught up in the pulling back micro, that they don't focus enough on the focus fire micro, and Matreiuss managed to get a little bit of a win there, and he's forcing Brickhead to retreat there. Yes, he could actually ungarrison these fishing ships over to this location. It's probably the safer one, seeing as this is where Matreiuss is moving forward and back. But Brickhead is okay with just moving him back and in, and it's going to be totally fine here. And at least looking like Brickhead's slowly but surely getting ahead of Matreiuss in the population. 55 to 53. That's only going to get bigger as no third dock comes out. We have not seen that third dock just yet. And generally, you want to be chucking that third dock at about 6 minutes and 30 seconds once your wood economy hits about 18 villages on wood, and you'll be great there. We are seeing some nice micro again from Matreiuss, but there's too many boats here for Brickhead. Brickhead just kind of needs to split these guys up into multiple different groups and target fire these close ships mostly. Generally, if you fire against the close ships, when he pulls them back, you have enough time to react and then refocus fire so that you're going to not actually lose any DPS there. We are seeing these longboats are very low HP though, and again, instant micro there from Matreiuss is beautiful to see. Brickhead's going to retreat back underneath his dock, and I think Brickhead is probably going to be thinking about, okay, can I just outmass here, or should I try something different? If we jump over to his perspective, he's got a lot of gold in the bank, and he probably has too many villagers on wood at this point. It wouldn't be a bad idea to just cancel those and just grab that second town center right now, because he's going to be fine fighting underneath these docks. He can just garrison one fishing ship in both of these docks, and then Matreiuss is going to be a little bit scared there. But we'll see what Matreiuss is doing over here. He has kept his economy pretty even, but for some reason he's not over ecoed on gold. Generally, if you have 12 villagers on wood, on gold at this point, just producing trireme, you're going to get too much wood. Not enough wood and too much gold, but for some reason it's equaling out. So he must be spending it somewhere else here, or just have transferred over.
Not 100% sure, but it looks like he can actually grab that second town center very soon. And he also has 500 woods. 500 food because he hasn't lost anything in terms of his fishing. So he can actually go to the Mythic Age fairly soon, which will be a very big surprise for Brickhead there. Brickhead's moving in. He's got a very nice naval force here. He can start pushing matreiuss back, but he's not fighting at this point. matreiuss is sitting at 75 population to Brickhead's 82. So Brickhead should be taking this fight and attempting to win it, but I feel like he's a little bit underconfident in his abilities here. Nice micro here, grabbing this ship back, but matreiuss has pulled that one already. Very nice here. Generally, when you have these big groups of ships, you want to be grabbing two separate control groups and then targeting different boats with them both, so that your opponent has to pull back two separate ships in order to deal with it. But that's not happening at this point. We are seeing a lot of focus fire and a lot of not firing. Also, the other way to play these large ship fires is to just not fall back and just keep refocusing, because you will pick off the boats and then figuring out which ones are low HP and then taking them down. We are going to be seeing this fight is definitely going in favor of Brickhead. Brickhead's ships do have the 7 attack damage versus the 6 attack damage, so they do more damage there. matreiuss, on the other hand, looking like very, very close to be going to that next age, so he does not want to be taking this fight. He can actually cast Ceasefire if he so chooses in order to keep his archer ships alive while he's advancing to the next age. Does he have his armory up just yet? No, he doesn't have his armory up, and he has not built it just yet. He's going to hit that heroic age, look to go to the heroic age, and realize he cannot get there. Going to be retreating one of these fishing ships into the dock there. Not just yet, actually. We are seeing a little bit of harass over here with the militia, but not too much there. Brickhead is going to be taking this water location here and forcing matreiuss back. We jump over to Brickhead's perspective. Brickhead not close to the heroic age. However, winning the water means he can start really spamming those fishing ships and getting very far ahead on the food economy. Also, Brickhead completely fine with taking some top dock fire from these two docks. It does do 10 and 13 damage per shot, plus they shoot 2 projectiles, so it's quite a bit of damage. However, with all of these triremes getting picked off, it's going to be lights out for matreiuss on the water there. He's still producing triremes, though, potentially into his docks. I'm not sure I like that, but I guess he can hold on until he's in the heroic age and then fight back with Skylar. And Skylar, super difficult to deal with as Norse, especially Thor. Thor doesn't have access to any heroic age myth units. However, you probably wouldn't even go walking woods anyways, but he's not going to be able to deal with that. And we are going to be seeing Dionysus is the god of choice there. He's going to get a free Skylar and then be able to build some more there, maybe? Or he's going to just go straight for that second town center. If we jump over to Brickhead's perspective, Brickhead should be thinking about that second town center right now, or his own heroic age. Otherwise, he's just going to not be able to win this water at this point. Even though he's picked off all of those triremes, he's not going to be able to do anything with it. Other option is to grab his own armory, get burning pitch, and then go on really hard on the water, and then taking it with a burning pitch, because burning pitch can give your longboats some crush damage in order to pick off these docks under that dock fire. Anyways, we are going to be seeing that all of the fish has been shut down there. matreiuss is going to have to start transferring villagers over to food in order to be gathering that food, and we are seeing archery ranges going up for matreiuss there just to deal with any sort of longhouse aggression here. I would like to see, when you win the water, it's always a good idea to be sending units, especially as Norse, to be sending units forward and starting to put that pressure onto the land so your opponent can't just boom. You don't want them to boom, especially when you win the water, because you can start transferring that water advantage into things like Ulfsark spam. Very difficult to deal with as Poseidon in the classical age because they do not have Pacifist. Anyways, we are going to be seeing Dionysus, and I am assuming that there's five triremes in these docks already. This dock's actually going to be not able to get that trireme to keep producing, and Brickhead's going to have a big fight on his hands here in order to hold on to this water. But having this second town center up means he's going to be able to start doing some real damage. We are seeing the trireme pop out straight away. Those should be swapped over onto siege ships, and then the Skylar is going to be doing absolute work. There is nothing that Brickhead can really do against that. Not being in the heroic age means no access to hammer ships there, but little bits of micro of what you have to do against the Skylar. He is a melee unit, so you can actually run away your units there and just force him to do some stuff. We have seen Burning Pitch has been researched, but it's a little bit too late there. It's going to be able to do quite a bit, and we do see that Bronze gets cast there, so that's going to be huge 43% pierce armor right there against the pierce damage of these longboats may be enough here just to defeat this, but the Scarlet's getting left at the back for some reason, and Burning Pitch versus Triremes bronzed. I believe the bronze Triremes do take that one, and if we jump back over to Brickhead's perspective, is he still going to be producing? Yes, he's going back into producing longboats. He's not happy about the resources he spent on Burning Pitch. Burning Pitch, I think, may get an extra bit of damage against the Skylar because he doesn't have crush armor or something like that. What's his crush armor? Crush armor is only 80%. I guess neither do crush armor is Triremes, only 10%. I'm not 100% what Burning Pitch does, to be honest. Let me check. 600%, 20% ballista crush attack, 300% versus buildings, and 600% versus 600% versus archer and archer ships. So it's actually huge. I didn't actually think that that's what it... For some reason, it might be different in Nilla, because I feel like in Nilla, the Burning Pitch doesn't give you a bonus against archer ships. But apparently in Titans, it does. And we are seeing a little bit of a raid up the top here from Matreiuss with the Theseus and the Militia, but that second town center is going to be pumping. Brickhead does have that option to just go spam villages option, right? Go spam villages and then go straight to the Mythic Age, go for a gold staff. If we check out this gold mine will probably expire around the 16-minute mark, right? So if Brickhead can gold staff here and here, with Ragnarok, it's going to be a way to play the game. Anyways, he's also already investing in armory upgrades, so he can probably afford to be doing that. And he's been spamming villages non-stop, so it's going to be a strong Ragnarok, and we're going to have to see. Basically, I would be chucking down military barracks now. Don't go for the classic barracks units. But also, Brickhead doesn't have access to this town center at this point because he's got this the Hydra out, and that Hydra is doing some real big damage to the houses there, and he's only got old Sarks to deal with it. Yeah, seeing some longhouses go up, and villager production has been pretty much stopped as we're waiting to see the heroic age coming through. Probably Skadi is the right choice here, just so you can buy yourself some time from this aggression that's coming in. We are seeing Toxito, Hydra is very difficult to deal with, and villages getting produced, but there's really, for some reason, not that much Matreiuss is doing. He needs to potentially, he's going to be going to his own Mythic Age. I love it. Going his own Mythic Age, skipping everything there. He's going to have access probably to Earthquake and destroy the entire base of Brickhead, and then have his really, really lovely Chimera running around. He is going through Artemis, not going through Hephaestus. So it's going to be good for him there. He's going to be able to use Earthquake potentially over here or potentially here. Pick off all of this stuff. It's going to be brutal. We're seeing more docks going out for Brickhead. Brickhead is going through Skadi though, so he is going to have access to that frost in order to recover here, but I feel like he's just not 100% aware of what's going on from Matreiuss. He's a little bit behind on the economy, and Matreiuss is pulling very far ahead, especially with that Mythic Age coming down. It's going to be there way too fast. Brickhead, on the other hand, not with enough villagers on food in order to get his own Mythic Age. So going for this fast Ragnarok play is not going to work out for him when he doesn't have enough villagers on food to get the 1,000 food. He has 24 villagers on wood, which means he can actually get that hill fort up and start going for Huskal, which are super strong units. You can go Huskal, throwing Axeman, and get the special upgrade there in order to deal with all of this. But we are seeing a Ursa coming out, going to be attempting to pick off that Hydra, but that's going to get picked off super fast by all those Toxito. The Ulfsark going to be trying to move in here, picking off these guys. The longboats trying to fight over here, but the Trireme getting pulled back, and this is probably going to be a little bit too... maybe these Ulfsark do win against the Toxito here, and the Frost Giant's going to be running away. He can just run around and then come and frost this Hydra yet again. We are seeing another Frost Giant coming out there, so he's going to be able to... Oh no, you don't want it. Cast your Frostbite. No, cast your Frost... No! You want to cast your Frost Breath on the Hydra there. Unfortunately, that does not happen. The other Frost Giant can come come in and deal some real damage over there. We are seeing some dragon ships coming out as well as those juggernauts. But the Skylar is on 1 HP. 1 HP. Pick that guy off. Pick that guy off and you'll be totally fine. We are seeing Artemis has come through right now, but there is no line of sight on the buildings just yet. We don't see anything. We have a pig here. That's not enough line of sight to do anything. We are seeing these trireme move in here with all of those juggernauts, and we are seeing some Drakar coming out right now. They're going to be attempting to pick off those juggernauts. These are such difficult fights to happen. We are seeing a Toxito come in, and Earthquake does get cast. You're going to pick off all of these units, all of those houses. Brickhead sitting at 113 of 55 population. He needs to get all of those Ulfsarks that he has, build his houses back up instantly, but it looks like he may have lost a bunch there, and he also has to get that town center back up, as well as Matreiuss is grabbing this third town center for himself. He's also got this town center back here, and he is putting the stranglehold with his stables over here. So what he can do right now is pretty much just give up on the water and then just put all of his eggs into the land basket. Gold Starve. Go for that Gold Starve. There's only a 1,700 gold left on this gold mine. We are seeing a Hippolyta trying to pick off this Frost Giant, and the Frost Giant's going to be retreating there. But Brickhead going to be taking the water, can start producing some of those fishing ships. He's getting the Salt Amphora, just going to give him a lot more food. But losing that town center is going to be huge. He's getting fortified town centers, and those houses are starting to come back up. But with only 2 long houses, everything else is down. He needs to get that stuff rebuilt straight away. The Chimera is going to be able to come in here, do a significant amount of damage to these villages. With the Hippolyta here as well, going to be able to pick off those Frost Giants. Just need to basically focus fire the low HP Frost Giant, which looks like he's not doing, unfortunately, for Matreiuss there. That Frost Giant is basically one shot away, and the Frost Giant does manage to catch the Chimera, so he can get both of these Frost Giants in. He will be able to kill that guy off with 2 Frost Giants to be able to basically re-deal that damage. And we're seeing a Heliopolis come in right now with all of these Toxitos. This Herso not going to be enough to stop this one. He can use Frost, but there's not enough units over here just yet. He is using Frost straight away. Need to get these Ulfsark over here, get those, he's basically rebuilt all his houses, but he also needs to get some more long houses, delete maybe some of these ships in order to build more units at this point. These villagers still chasing the Hippolyta though, but the Chimera is going to be totally fine. And for some reason, ceasefire getting cast there. I'm not 100% sure about that. That's not a great idea. He was on the offensive and he was totally doing fine there. Ceasefire, maybe because... Not 100% sure. Maybe because he was going to lose the dock and he wants to rebuild some fishing ships. No, are you still build? I don't understand. You don't need this. You've got 3 town centers and you can just rebuild those farms. You've got berries here. You've got berries here. You've got enough food on the map to continue being fine. But he's letting the fortified town center come back up. Now he has to deal with that. He does have 1 Heliopolis and probably going to be building some more of those Heliopolis. But villagers over here already, you want to get those off that wood and surround that Heliopolis. Oh, I guess you can't do that because the frost is going to be exhausted there. But Frost Giant going to come in. Frost Giants are the best units to deal with Siege Towers or Heliopolis, because as they come in, you can just use your Frost Breath, and then they don't do any damage, and you can kill them while they're not doing any damage, as opposed to killing them while they're doing damage, which is kind of what they're designed for, right? So if you're ever playing Norse against Egyptian, probably Skadi is your best bet with Frost Giant spams. It's so strong. Definitely need to get that Frost Giant to get back from there. He's going to be picked off super fast, and we are seeing that happening right now. Villagers are going to be moving up here. He's run out of gold. There is a fortified town center, sorry, a fortress here and a town center here with enough units. We are seeing the longboats coming on over in this location though, so they're going to be doing a lot of damage if they do decide to attack, but they are not attacking, and all of these red units are going to be killing every single one of these dwarves. Brickhead is sitting at 300 gold in the bank, which is not enough to be doing all too much when he's losing all of these units, and he's going to be seeing that this location has been locked down. Also, this location has not been locked down, but he's not going to be able to deal with it. Chimera raids coming in onto the villages over here. Every single one of the villages of Brickhead has been picked off. He's going to be noticing this is way too much for him to deal with. Frost Giant moving in. They are still pumping out, but Brickhead on 17 gold. He's got 17 gold. He is trying to get a rhyme out, which is going to make his Frost Giants very, very strong, but they're just going to get picked off by the heroes of Matreiuss, and this is going to be way too much. He does get the market up, but decides to tap out. Says GG. Matreiuss played this game super good. Super good. His micro was great. He fooled Brickhead into not pushing for the water strong enough, so when he got to the heroic age, he could make a really strong comeback on the water, which forced Brickhead in turn to go back into that when I feel like he shouldn't have. He should have stayed on his land and then probably put some pressure on the opponent's land and tried to pick off a gold mine or two and just gold starve that way. Yeah, I'm not 100%. It's still only, I must have got that wrong. Maybe it would have been 20 minutes that the gold mine expires, not 16. I was a little bit off by 4 minutes. But he definitely, I feel like Brickhead definitely made this hard for himself to win simply because he was so overcommitted to water when water really doesn't matter that much in the Tides. It matters a lot in Nilla because you don't have access to classical town centers. But if you lose the water on the Tides, you can just grab your town centers, and having 3 town centers pumping villages is equivalent to your opponent having a town center plus 2 docks pumping fishing ships in a town center, right? So and they can only gather food from those fishing ships. So you have the diversity of economy that you can pump into like wood units and food units as well, and you can start attacking your opponent on the land earlier than your opponent can, because then he has to grab his own town centers to catch back up in that regard. Anyways, if you enjoyed this game, please rate, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to see my videos as soon as they come out. My name's Boit, and I'll see you guys next time.